Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 2066 of What You Up To Now, documenting the journey from offline brick and mortar corporate world of business simultaneously over 2 decades of that, or actually over a quarter century. I was there over 25 years in corporate America while building, growing, and supersizing businesses. And then I transitioned following my divorce to the online world. Why? Because I was curious about it. Been curious about it for a long time. And I hopped in with both feet because I had stopped doing everything I was doing with the ex and was looking for something different. Was old enough to retire, but wasn't really ready to retire yet. And because of certain circumstances and things in my life, I didn't want to retire. I didn't want to just stop doing business and life and the things that I'd been doing. So hopped in, made tons of mistakes. Oh, I wish I had done everything right the first time. And I thought I followed the right mentor and was doing the right thing, but I wasn't doing the things I was supposed to be doing. And I fell into a lot of the traps that people fall into when we come online. Comparison, comparing yourself to others and what they're doing, believing that we're missing out on something. We have to just keep learning the next thing. That whole knowledge, you can't get enough knowledge. You can't get enough information. And one of the most powerful lessons I learned with respect to that was realizing, just like in the offline world, you can't do everything yourself. You don't have to do everything yourself. You don't have to be an expert in everything. Bring on the people that have the expertise you need and partner with them to get the things that you need to get done. I don't need to be able to create my own apps. We hire teams to do that. I don't need to be able to do my own anything. I can hire almost anybody to do that, with the exception of showing up and creating my own content. I personally want to create my own content. I want to show up. I want to share the lessons that I'm learning and the hopes that you or someone else can learn from some of the mistakes I've made so that you don't make those same mistakes. We can shortcut our process and of learning and our journey and make it a lot less struggle and a lot less filled with obstacles by learning from other people and learning from their mistakes. I learn from other people's mistakes and don't make those mistakes. There are plenty of mistakes for each of us to learn and figure out and make on our own. We don't need to make mistakes that we can avoid making. And so that's why I like to show up and share this stuff that I'm doing, the lessons that I've learned. And if you've got any questions, just ask. I'll be glad to answer them, just from my personal experience and hoping and knowing that that is helpful. I have learned so much of what to do and not to do from other people and mentors and coaches and consultants and things. And I know how valuable that can be and how much less stressful and less alone we feel when we're building and when we're on our own life's journey. The interesting thing about being human is that no matter what we're experiencing and feeling, we feel like we're the only one feeling that. But the truth is, whatever we're experiencing, whatever we're feeling, no matter how effed up or weird it might be, chances are there are literally thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people going through something super duper similar, if not the exact same thing at the same time, or they've been through it already and they can help you get through it too. And once I realized that, it made life seem a lot less hard and a lot less lonely, even though it's our human nature to feel like we're the only one, or that it's somehow affecting us personally more than anybody else on the planet, right? Which is kind of ludicrous. I think that the pandemic, it's a lesson I learned from the pandemic, especially because it was in my lifetime a global event that impacted almost everyone on the planet. It was the same event, but how each of us responded and reacted to it was different, right? And so I think that's a huge example for me to call on and use in my own life when I'm thinking that, recently had a loss in the family, not my personal relative, but a relative of my sister's. And it's so sad and so hard. And I watch as each of the different people in their family have grieved in their own way. And it's really interesting how different things impact each and every one of us. But we all feel like we're the only one going through it. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, we're never alone. We're never the only one doing anything or going through anything or feeling anything. Think back of when you first fell in love, right? The first time you fell in love, it always feels like it's the most, and it is the most important thing to us, right? In our life experience. But the first time you get your heart broken, it's like we think we're the only one that's ever had our heart broken before. And it's absolutely possibly not true. I think almost anyone on the planet and everyone on the planet has experienced loss and heartache at some point in their life. Maybe it's just the loss of a pet or the heartache of your best friend moving away. I don't know what it is for you, but for each and every one of us, every time we experience different feelings, we feel like we're the only one. That's totally off topic today, but for some reason that was in my mind. Content today created. Are you living your life to the fullest? That is my question for you today. Both your life and what you're creating in the world and how you're showing up in the world. Are you doing it to the best of your ability? I think we all ebb and flow. Sometimes I have definitely been not living my life to the fullest and just barely surviving and getting by. So not my favorite times in my past and in my life, but they're true, and we all have them. And then there's other times when I feel like everything is flowing and I'm thriving and things are going terrifically. And very seldom is everything in all the different areas of our life clicking and going at the same level of wonderfulness at the same time. So physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, contribution, communication, and confidence are the 9 life framework areas I use. And they're always in varying degrees of clicking along and living life to its fullest, right? I might physically be challenged, but I'm living life to my fullest in my relationships. I might be living life to the fullest in financially, but I'm struggling with other areas or aspects of my life, right? Maybe I'm having mental or physical challenges. It's always varied, and that's part of our journey, is to figure out how do we continually improve each of those areas and aspects of our life and show up as the best possible version of ourselves right now and each moment to the best of our ability. Anyway, so live life in the moment was our idiom for Supersize Your Business today. And our exercise for the annual challenge, to get your goals annual challenge, we're focusing on confidence goals this month, is our lifeline exercise. It's like a timeline, but with your life. It's a timeline of your life, and it's called a lifeline exercise. And I like to take each of those 9 different areas and aspects of my life and graph them on my timeline, my lifeline, and say, okay, how did this event impact my confidence? How did my confidence impact that event on my life? Because chances are the lower feeling, the less confident I am, the less results I'm getting in other areas and aspects of my life. And once I start to realize that correlation, I can make changes, usually in my mindset, my thoughts, my thinking, and my beliefs, to offset those things about confidence. Because guess what? Any negative beliefs we have about our ability to do something about our confidence are usually false beliefs. And we don't think our beliefs are false beliefs. They're just our beliefs, but they usually are. And they usually come from an event in our childhood that we probably don't even consciously remember. But it had a profound impact on us, and we piled all kinds of other things on top of it, which negatively impacted our belief in ourselves. So that's what we're talking about today. Today is Wednesday, middle of the week in my neck of the woods. If I can help you in any way, I've got a project and a commitment today that I'm volunteering to take care of and help with. But if I can help you in any way, just hit me up and ask. You can always Voxer me at pajamagrandma@gmail.com, especially when I'm busy and out and about. That's the best way to get in touch with me. If I don't answer right away, it's because I'm doing something. Like my 2-year-old granddaughter says, I'm busy, Grandma. I'm busy. I guess we must tell her we're busy a lot. I know I'm guilty of that. Grandma's busy. And so now she says, I'm busy, Grandma. It's so dang cute in that little 2-year-old voice. So if I'm busy, it might take me a few minutes, but I guarantee I'll get back to you. Have a great day. And of course, be with you tomorrow.